Welcome everyone to the internet, but not so internet culture podcast. We have Nuckwit in person for the first time ever. I met this guy less than 10 hours ago in person for the first time ever. It's the first time, bro. This is the coolest thing ever. I've known this guy for 2 years and I'm finally meeting him in person. We need to talk about that. Online relationships, guys. Online relationships. Can they work? Clearly, me and Nuckwit are making it work. Clearly, Cyril and Nuckwit are making it work. We're making it work, guys.
Are we making it work?
Hell yeah.
They did just finish fighting, though.
I fought
won't
Cyril.
lie.
We were really upset with each other.
Yeah.
They were super upset, so they put boxing gloves on, and they took it out like men, guys. This is actually so big. There's a video of it, too. Jerkmate stream. We'll show you guys.
As soon as that Jerkmate stream drops, 100th podcast episode is on Jerkmate, guys.
Dude, next, the only thing that I think can top this is if Sully Brett and Nuck are in the same room together.
Dude,
That would be awesome.
do you guys want to see Soli, Nuck, Sism, Brody?
That's four
All
people
in
on a
one room,
podcast.
bro?
That's a
Four
lot of
guys?
people on a podcast.
That's a
I
big
won't
cast.
lie.
I haven't seen that many people on a podcast, though.
Yeah, no, definitely. It can
possible.
happen. But speaking of four people on a podcast, we have to talk about George Janko. That's a very important topic.
Ooh, that's a good-
We're going to get to
good
that
segue.
later. We're not going to segue yet because I want to talk about this online relationships bit here.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about how well Nuckwit did, bro. I taught him for maybe 10 minutes. 10 minutes how to box. And he held his own against Cyril. And I've talked to Cyril a couple of times about boxing.
Oh, yeah.
Like a couple
Nuckwit-
times we've talked and we've sparred and figured stuff out, and I've been trying to teach Cyril show them ropes, for self-defense purposes, or also just for like trying to mess somebody up, if he wants to.
I've ever felt like it.
Like if he wanted to jump someone and steal their money, I mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't blame
Nothing
him.
crazy.
Nothing super crazy, nothing illegal. I mean, it's legal
Just like
to do that
Yeah.
in Minecraft, of course. But yeah, so dude, Nuckwit held his own though, bro.
I jumped into the ring, balls to the walls. Balls were flying, pants were flying everywhere. I hit Cyril a few times, but honestly, let's be honest. I don't know what they're talking about. He kicked my ass. All right.
Maybe a little bit. He maybe did kick his ass just a little bit.
He beat
I won't lie.
He beat me up, man.
No, but
He beat me up.
for not having any knowledge, like any prior knowledge of boxing, this dude like learned in about 10 minutes, and he hit me. I mean, you got me in the face. You got me in the face pretty good that one time. Like he stood his ground for sure.
He
all
definitely
jokes.
did. Also, guys, you're probably wondering in the Twitch chat. This is the first ever podcast on Twitch. This is actually
That's
huge.
true. This is a
huge.
double-
This is
double
the first ever podcast on Twitch as well. I'm streaming on
Twitch,
Twitch
don't
now.
even know.
We're getting to 50 followers by the start of summer. It's happening. That's like 2 weeks away, guys. Please help me. I am in really bad debt. But yeah, so this is the first podcast on Twitch, but also I'm really big for some reason. The reason why I'm big right now. Also, I'm just a big guy. We weighed ourselves in today.
He's a
I'm
big guy.
202 pounds, 6'6". That's a real thing. But I'm also on a chair that's a little bit higher. I couldn't fit any other chair that was their height, and it didn't end up working. Why is it unfocused, please? It doesn't know who to focus on.
It's because of me.
It's because of Nuckwit. But yeah,
Who wouldn't focus on Nuckwit?
who
though?
wouldn't focus? I'm trying to focus on Nuckwit.
The
It's
hottest
hard
boy
not
here.
to, man.
I'm
It's
trying to
hard
watch the
not to.
stream, and it's kind of hard when I got such a beautiful young man standing next to me.
I know, bro.
Such a
It's
thirst trap.
Like,
ridiculous.
that's all
man.
I'm looking at, actually. Like, we're looking at the stream. All I'm looking at is Nuckwit.
Literally, that's what I'm looking at too. That's
Mouth
exactly-
watering.
What can I say?
And I'm just thinking about his boxing moves that he's trying to put on me. I actually sparred them both as well. That was pretty fun. I was trying to give him looks, trying to make him look good.
I fought Brody too.
He did.
WD.
He did. I think that he did really good. And I'm not going to comment any further because I was in the fight and I don't want to glaze. I will not be self-glazing.
Guys,
I don't know about you, but
it was it was kind of slow fight, but it was a good fight.
Yeah, I was
It was a
teaching.
learning.
more
Yeah,
of a
it was more
teaching
teaching
fight.
than anything.
Um,
So there's no room for glazing, really.
There is no room for glazing other than I'm being a good teacher because I think I taught you both well. I think I did well with my time with Nuckwit. Oh my gosh, bro. I got a man's camel toe right now with these sweatpants. But
I was glazing, bro.
I gotta be careful. He was glazing me, and let's just say it didn't go super well.
You guys know how it is.
You guys do know how it goes, okay?
Do.
I want Sism's boxing moves on me as well, cheese. That's a true fact. Anyways, we need to get into like the beef of the podcast. So we're kind of talking about
girth.
ourselves a lot. The girth of the podcast.
girth.
A big thing that I want to talk about that I think pairs into fighting pretty well is the Mike Tyson Jake Paul presser. We've gotten 2 pressers so far now, and they've been unhinged, bro. I don't know if you guys watched the full things. Did you watch it?
The
I
what?
haven't seen it.
Neither of you guys watched the press. It's like the press thing. You know, like when they put them both in the front of the camera and they both talk and chat.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw what Mike Tyson said about.
Yeah. Okay. About an erection.
Yeah, Mike Tyson. So I don't know the exact quote. Do you have the exact quote?
I don't have the exact quote.
Mike Tyson, if you guys don't know, basically Mike Tyson talks about watching Drake Paul.
Drake Paul. What is you're
sorry.
thinking about? Or speaking of erections,
What?
Drake Paul.
Jake Paul. He was like, I remember watching you dance around on YouTube when you were 16 and I got an erection. That was like, I don't know if those were the exact words, but that's what he said.
That's basically what he said.
And he actually laughs at himself immediately after because I don't know if he misspoke or if he's just like, what the hell did I just say?
Yeah, no, he definitely thought it was
Unhinged.
funny.
Yeah.
Unhinged.
It was very unhinged.
Unhinged.
Oh, yeah.
Extremely unhinged, and it was crazy though. It was a very interesting presser to watch. I mean, we really got to see some trash talk from Jake Paul, which we hadn't seen previously. Jake Paul very much so was being respectful of the GOAT, bro. I mean, Mike Tyson is the GOAT. Blatantly, he's the GOAT.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, bro is the best heavyweight fighter that's ever graced the earth. The only person that beat him is an arguable fight. I mean, there's a lot of conspiracies on it.
Well, I've heard he was high before the fight, right?
So the big thing is the refing of the fight. So he goes against a guy named Rodney, and when he goes against this guy, he gets a down 10 count. So basically Mike Tyson knocks him out. He gets a 10 count on the ground, and the 10 count was about 15 seconds. So realistically,
I see.
if it was a different ref,
Yeah.
we could have seen Mike Tyson go with an undefeated record,
completely different, yeah.
which would have been very different. I also will say, undefeated records in boxing, everybody likes to boast about them. Everybody likes to think they're cool. The people that have undefeated boxing records are normally people who aren't taking real fights, which takes me to the next point about Ryan Garcia, who recently lost his undefeated record. And it seems like he's going to lose his undefeated record of 0-0 in court as well against Bryce Hall.
Wait, he's in court?
He's in court
With
against Bryce Hall.
What's the story then?
He sued Bryce Hall.
Why?
Okay, so basically he sued Bryce Hall over let me pull up my notes.
Dude, no, Ryan Garcia is off his rocker.
No,
I mean,
absolutely.
like we talked about it we've talked about him a couple times, but we talked about him like several weeks ago for those of you who don't know. And like this dude just by the week gets more and more crazy. Like I don't know what it is. You don't hear about him as much anymore. Like I don't feel like he's been as relevant in the past like 2 weeks as he was like a month or two ago.
No, I mean,
But he will just
he was
say the most
prepping for a fight as part of it too. He was fighting against a guy named Devin Haney, and he was going even more unhinged, which he has come out and say that was fight promo.
Really?
He said that was fight promo. So all this stuff he was talking about, Bohemian Grove, the ditties that he experienced, like all that stuff was supposed to be entirely fight promo.
That's so screwed up though that you can't just say that.
Which is messed up.
That's
I
so
agree
messed
it's messed up.
What that does though is that really like takes away from real victims. and stuff
No,
like that.
absolutely.
For one,
It directly takes away from
and also it's
real
just
victims.
lying. Like
It's blatant lying.
but they don't
It's
really care about
blatant
that in the industry.
Well, I mean, the thing that I think is genuinely true, if he was actually gone to Bohemian Grove and he actually saw the things that he saw, he wouldn't be alive anymore to talk about it.
Yeah.
I think that some of these conspiracy theories are for real, but I think that he would have died of mysterious circumstances, realistically.
on some Kennedy.
Genuinely,
shit.
man, genuinely. The conspiracy theories that I believe and that I think are believable is the ones that don't have live people to talk about it anymore. Maybe it could be generally believed by the public, but it's not confirmed by anything.
No, I see what you mean.
Yeah, no concrete evidence like Ryan Garcia slipping through the holes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's suing Bryce Hall though, and the reason why is because basically Bryce Hall had a piece of Ryan's camp, which is like his trainers, train him for his Austin McBroom fight. After he does this Austin McBroom fight, he seems to like he lost that fight. Obviously, Bryce. That sucked for Bryce. Honestly, it was terrible. It was not a good fight. It was not a good showing. He got memed on beyond belief, and I think that's where Bryce Hall goes on his redemption arc actually. But anyways, he basically Ryan plays poker with Bryce, like high stakes poker, and Ryan like doesn't pay up. Doesn't pay up at all. So Bryce Hall says a bunch of mean things on the internet. And Ryan Garcia says, okay, then I'm going to sue you. Well, the thing is that it's mean things on the internet, bro. You're not actually going to get a suit out of this. You're going to spend more money than lose money. Like you're not going to gain anything from this. He doesn't gain anything from this. If anything, Bryce Hall has to take down a couple tweets that are mean and it'll be off his back.
Yeah, that's what you mean.
That's all there is to it.
It's really absurd. This is like some childish moves from some rather childish people, it seems.
Agreed.
I mean, you know, I don't know much about Ryan Garcia's childhood, but like Bryce Hall has grown up almost on the internet and in the industry even, and so
Absolutely.
this is the type of move that you would expect from someone who has done that. Is the thing that I've noticed, at least with a lot of these types of man children who have seemingly popped off in the industry. But I don't know much about Ryan Garcia's like moving up, but it is really just that's so stupid because that's not even how suing works. Like, do you know what he's so like defamation of character? Like what?
Defamation, something of this sort. It's actually like
Yeah,
crazy,
that's absurd.
dude.
You can't just like you can't just say, oh, you made me mad, I'm gonna sue. Like that's absurd. If anything, I feel like Bryce would get some sort of winnings because Ryan Garcia didn't pay up.
No,
Like,
you're
that's
right.
absurd. You cannot agree to something like that and just not show out. Like I don't know.
No, you genuinely can't.
That's my opinion.
It's one of the stupidest situations ever, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Nuck, what do you think?
Wild.
That's a good point. I see you like sitting over there. I don't want to like forcibly put you in the conversation, but I also don't like.
No, I get you. I just don't really know what to say to that specific. It's wild. It's wild though.
Nah, dude.
Things escalate like that.
Yeah, I definitely get it. I don't want to forcibly like add you into it, but it is your first podcast. I don't want you to be nervous. We're here for you.
I'm not nervous. I'm thinking of jokes in my head right now while listening.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm not thinking of anything.
Yeah. That's the Nuck way, guys. That's the Nuck way. Nuck likes to make faces in the corner, and we love that. We love that for him.
He's pondering.
I'm pondering
him
life
for
right
it.
now.
The thing is though, is that like Nuckwood always pulls through and has like something to say, either like midway through or near the end. It's something he's been thinking about the entire time. I already know it. And like he's about to cook. He's about to cook,
bro, for real. Yeah, dude.
He's been in the kitchen the whole cast, and at the end of the cast, he cooks.
That's so crazy, bro.
Like,
That
takes time.
Yeah, he always pulls through something. So like,
Yeah, no, honestly, Nuckwit. The one thing I've noticed about Nuckwit or Carter, I don't know if I'm leaking this. We've been calling him Carter. That's his real name, guys.
I haven't been able to yet.
This is a
Dude,
real name.
It's actually kind of funny. We were going around like everywhere today, and it was so funny just hearing like he would like slip up every single time, call me like Nuckwit. And did you do it in front of my? No, you didn't do it in front of my mom, but it was.
That would have been funny.
Yeah, bro, we met his
I was
mom.
hoping. Yeah, we met each other's parents.
Mrs.
Like I said, I
Nuckwit,
didn't meet
man.
his parents, but
No one met my parents.
yeah.
I met your parents.
They're not real.
No, your parents are awesome.
No, they're not real.
Mr. and Mrs. are awesome.
Oh.
Mr. and Mrs.
You guys won't
Smurl.
ever know my last name,
No, you won't. You can't know it.
even though it's been said multiple
It's
times.
Sism. You'll never guess it though. Like you would also honestly
never
guess it though.
guess.
Like his last name is like super secret, bro. Super secret.
I change my last name every week.
That's true. Carter has many last names. His last
That's
name
why
is
I don't
Witt,
know.
actually.
Running from the law.
His last name is Witt, for real. But anyways, yeah. Okay, so we got to talk about it. The next topic, though, we're getting super. It's not shit. Come, you like cheese? It's not.
It's not shit. Come, that's close though.
It is close. It is close.
Good try. Good try.
But anyways, guys, I want to talk about a big podcasting drama, actually. So if you guys don't know, there's been a long feud between George Janko and Logan Paul. George Janko.
Oh, I'm aware.
George Janko being one of Logan Paul's best friends, one of the people that he came up with in Vine, one of the people that he came up with on YouTube, one of the people that he did a lot. Basically, he's done so much with this guy.
I think I've heard them say they're childhood best friends too.
Not childhood, but like they consider each other childhood because they've known each other for so long.
Okay.
because like they met each other in LA, but it was really early into Logan's career, really early into George's career. So they're basically like longtime best friends, you know?
Yeah, no, I get you.
It's crazy. It's really crazy how deep their friendship goes and how long Logan Paul has used George Janko. And I don't mean like in the way of using him for clout or anything like that. George Janko is very clearly not the more clouded person. He's not the more clouded individual.
Morally.
I will agree with Isaac in the chat though that George is the more liked one overall. He's been making some big moves recently. He had Andrew Tate on his podcast.
That was a little
He
while
went
ago,
to
but-
Romania.
Yeah.
He had probably like 30, 40 million views on that video.
It was
And there was a part
huge
2
video.
and it had just about the same, which was
And
crazy.
he's had Cliff on there. You
Yeah,
guys know
Cliff twice now.
I would say, yeah. I would say George Janko almost has a separate audience
Then Logan Paul,
than the Impulsive
entirely
podcast
different.
would. Entirely
It's
different audience.
entirely different.
And that's
Getting
cool. What were you saying?
It's getting there.
Oh, it's growing.
sorry.
Yeah. No, but he almost has like a different audience, and it's low key like. Oh, I do think I wanted to say this. I think at the start of their careers, George hella piggybacked off of Logan. Like not in a bad way. Like I don't think it was in a
Well,
negative light.
it was literally
but, like,
just that
were
they were friends and one of them blew up.
It'd be like if any one of us blew up, like everyone else blows up. Like we,
Like if Nuckwit blew up tomorrow,
yeah.
he would be happy to let us piggyback in the same way any of us
Yeah,
would.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that's exactly what happened, more or less. And but I do think like morally, it's pretty obvious who is the better moral human being. But I don't think huge Logan Paul fans are worried about morals.
No, I entirely agree. And but basically what I was going to get into is that now that we've established the backstory of both of these people, so Logan Paul has a lot of issues. We don't need to talk about that. That wouldn't fit in a podcast. We could have this podcast be 10 hours long. It wouldn't fit. I'm being so serious. Logan Paul has basically every issue in the book. That doesn't make him a bad human being inherently. What does make him a bad human being is if we can prove to everyone else that Logan Paul snaked his friends. Because the one thing you can never do is snake family or friends. It's not the right thing to do. It's just not the right thing to do. Even if your friends spit in your face, you should wipe it off, say, I forgive you, and I'm choosing to move a different direction.
Yeah.
That's the correct thing to do. That's genuinely the correct thing to do. If your friend snakes you, you walk away and you say, I forgive you, but I'm not going to be friends with you anymore.
I forgive you, Cyril.
Yeah.
But what
What I do?
don't know.
Cyril actually hit Knucklet
Cyril
hard in the
punched
face.
me, and
Like, it was-
I cried.
It was an accident. He
That's a
didn't
real
cry.
thing. I think Cyril snaked Knuckwit, and now they're no longer friends.
Nope.
They're moving to
Please
a different.
forgive me, Nuckwit.
Knuckwit is moving back to his hometown
I'm moving.
Tomorrow.
tomorrow. Yes, unfortunately.
Just because of that.
No, he just moved.
Wallahi,
here.
I'm finished.
Wallahi. I don't know. That might be actually really rude. I'm sorry if I offended anybody.
Is it really?
Is that cultural appropriation? Is it rude?
I don't know.
I don't know if it's rude or not. Is it respectful or is it rude? If it's,
I thought that was just a meme.
I thought it was a meme as well. But if it is disrespectful, I apologize to whatever community I offended. Okay, already. I'm gonna pre-fire. I'm pre-firing here. Okay.
Bro swung the corner.
I'm pre-firing, okay? But anyways, guys, but what I was going to say is that basically George Janko had a long-term podcast. He was a long-term podcast co-host on the Impulsive podcast, which is Logan Paul's podcast. Logan Paul owns it. His name's in the title, etc. Paul is a pretty, well, I've always hated him that his last name is Paul because he's got two first
His
names.
last name's a first name, yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, so basically, George Janko, according to George Janko, was diddied by Bobby Lee, who is a comedian. So he was multiple times touched sexually.
That's what he claimed?
Multiple times.
I didn't think that's what he claimed at all.
And because of that, it was
You know what?
cut out of the Impulsive podcast.
I think
And it
there
was-
are clips of it, isn't there?
There are clips of him touching George Janko, but not to the extent that George Janko says.
Yeah.
And also, I'm going to be honest, even if there was clips of George Janko being touched, it wasn't released to the public because in Mike Malak's own words, he said, we edit our podcast in a light to make the guest look good.
Yeah, he
Not
did
the
say that. I've
co-host,
seen that.
but the guest.
I
And in
saw
this
it.
specific case, the Bobby Lee podcast, they edited it in a way not only to make the guest look good, but to make George Janko look like a bad person.
And that's honestly where the dispute really started.
And they
That's
failed.
Yeah.
And the thing is about George Janko, he gave Logan Paul every chance he could. Logan Paul sat on a 1 hour long podcast, and about 15 to 20 minutes of that podcast, he was dissing on George Janko's religion of Christianity.
Yeah, I remember that clip. That was a big deal too.
It was a huge deal.
remember that?
It was a huge deal.
Yeah, that's the episode where he walks off, right?
No, Bobby Lee is where he walks off. But the one
Bobby Lee
before that,
walks
he
off.
doesn't walk off. And he sits there and takes this ridicule from Logan Paul,
Oh,
who
yeah.
doesn't understand anything about Christianity.
He actually like got all of his facts wrong too. Well, and then he comes back later saying like,
He does apologize. But
and it's a Christian's job to forgive and stuff like that.
absolutely.
But you can notice
And George
that
does.
his lifestyle didn't change. George did forgive him, and he was like, "Just come here and talk with me." I did see that Logan had a response video. Did anyone see the response video?
No.
The response video to George Janko?
Yeah, to George
There was a
Janko's-
response video.
and,
And he addresses everything except the sexual assault charges.
Yes, that's exactly.
That's the only thing he doesn't address.
And I will say that the things that he did address, Logan Paul did have a good argument for.
But the
which I
thing
do not
is-
like, but he didn't. But that's horrible.
They were screenshots that made him look good too. And you can tell in the TikTok video, it was hella edited, and it was very much so him reading off a script. Just like
I
with the
don't deny-
PFAs
yeah.
or the PFAS in the original Prime response video,
Mm-hmm.
Logan Paul reads off a script, makes a TikTok video, and thinks that it makes him better. It doesn't make him better. He's saying what a lawyer told him to say that sounds good. Multiple times in the Logan Paul response video to George Janko, he cuts out things. There's one case where he says George Janko made $350,000 on the podcast in a year or in his entire tenure. Well, here's the honest truth. $300,000 in LA when you are running a media company is not enough to run a media company. George Janko couldn't live off of $300,000 because
In LA?
it's not
No.
paying for his salary. The $300,000 was paying for his salary, his future wife's salary, his friend's salary, his cameraman's salary. And when you look at it in that perspective, we're already splitting that 4 ways. That's at least $75,000 a year. And if we split that into $75,000 a year, his family's not living off that.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean.
And the response when George Janko comes up to Logan Paul and asks for more money or to get paid the correct amount of the work that he's doing, George Janko says that Logan Paul said, "Go have your rich dad pay for it."
I actually,
Logan
I saw
Paul
that clip.
never addresses
That's
that.
Insane.
He addresses the money amount with a literal iPhone Notes app payment method. It's an iPhone Notes app. None of this is legit. First off, we don't even know if he made that $300,000. That's just what Logan
It's
Paul
just a chart.
pulled out of his
It's
butt.
actually
bro.
just like a Google. Oh, it might just be like a Google sheet. Like it was like literally. I mean, it meant absolutely nothing. Like it wasn't any sort of like
literally.
actual document with any sort of girth. Let's throw that back in.
And on top of that, he literally clips a part of George Janko's podcast where he says, "I don't want to make it about money, and I don't want to make it about that because it's not about that." And that's the only thing Logan responds to is the money issue. And he makes George Janko,
I
again,
see what you
look
mean.
like a bad person by cutting up his podcast. There's another part where George Janko says to Mike Malak, "You have no room to grow on the Impulsive podcast." What he's talking about in the context of the video is that he has no room to grow spiritually and emotionally. And Logan Paul takes "you have no room to grow" and says, "Well, Mike Malak has grown to have 3 million subscribers on YouTube." That's not what George is talking about. If he was talking about growth, you could look literally 2 minutes later on the podcast where George Janko says, "Thank you to Logan for giving me the platform I have."
And also, the thing is that even if he wasn't talking about like spiritual and like growth in terms of like personhood, he hasn't grown to the point that how do you say it?
Mike Malak?
Mike Malak. He hasn't grown to the point. I always call him Majid, like, bro. Oh my gosh, it's so I have to like accustom my brain to say Malak.
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 Yes.
He may lack. Okay. If you look at what Mike Malak's got, going on with him, George Janko, the stuff like the podcast, like that's so successful now. But part of the reason it is so successful is because he left the Logan Paul podcast, right?
Yeah,
like,
that's the
as
only
successful-
reason George
nearly as
Janko's
successful on its
successful.
own. And
After he left.
And so Logan Paul didn't really give that to him, at least not at least not purposefully like the same way he did with Mike. So even in that manner, he didn't help him grow.
Literally no.
Yes.
Yeah. He capped out at about like 1.3 million subscribers, which realistically were just all Logan Paul fans. They weren't George Janko fans. They were Logan Paul fans. So when George Janko put out a video, he got 20,000 views. Now George Janko puts out a video that's a podcast that's an hour long and he gets 500,000 views, which means so much more. And it's actually making him money that he can support him and his family on. And that's why he proposed to his girlfriend, coincidentally, like 6 months after he left Impulsive. Because he had the money to. He's got the money to actually do things now and live his life.
Oh, yeah.
And grow, just like he's saying, even in a monetary way. It's crazy, man. It's literally crazy. We could talk about this George Janko situation all day. But I want to bring this around to something that I think is more fun. And that's candy, guys. This is candy. So you guys may have known, you guys know that
I've seen the video.
Yeah, I made a candy review on Joyride candy. It's this candy right here. It was a older video. It was Ryan Trahan's candy, okay? Ryan Trahan's candy ultimately let me down. It was I will say, it was before Ryan Trahan was partnered with Joyride Candy, the candy that I tasted. But Ryan Trahan mentioned in his video that he has liked Joyride Candy since before he partnered. This is now a full second drop of Ryan Trahan branded ones. It has Ryan Trahan's face literally on it. I cut it off, but because I cut the top of the candy off. But it literally has Ryan Trahan's brand on it. It's got literal stickers that are Ryan Trahan based, which I actually really respect, actually. When I'm paying $25 for candy, I better get a freaking sticker sheet and some chapstick. But yeah, I just wanted to do a little taste review with you guys. I think it'd be fun.
I'm down.
I've tried this on a video, so you guys will know my full, honest review. I made it like a 15-minute video, so if you do want to see that as well, it's you haven't seen it yet. It's the new one.
Oh, there's a new
There's
one?
a new one. It's for this new drop. This is the new drop now.
Guys,
these are the classic strawberry twist. I scanned these with an app called YUKA. It's called Yucca. And it did test well. Doesn't seem to be any.
That's a health app, right?
Yeah, it's like a health app.
That thing's really cool. I've actually seen that before.
Yeah, it tests it for hazardous chemicals that have been tested. Like it basically has a bunch of studies loaded up into an app.
And a lot of American foods don't pass.
No, and this one, these specifically, scored anywhere between a 50 to a 70. So a 50 to a 70 is a passing on Yucca, which means that maybe it doesn't have the greatest macros for your body, but it doesn't contain any hazardous or limited risk chemicals. With that being said, I want to go ahead and try it. These are strawberry twist. It will have a little bit to do if you like strawberries or not.
Have another one.
You already ate it? You already ate it? I thought we were waiting. Sticky.
This is cool.
No, dude, I like it. I won't lie. Okay, here, real quick.
No, yeah, it's all right.
1 to 10. We'll do 1 to 10. But not quit first.
Probably a 7.
7?
I'm ready for this. 6.
6?
6.
Okay. Yeah. No, I think
not the best.
I think I
Like-
previously rated these a 7.
They're not like. Okay, actually, I'm gonna be harsh, bro. I'm gonna go like 5.
Wow.
Because they're not bad, but like I wouldn't ever want to eat them.
No, that's valid. And how much would you guys pay for these? Nuckwit, how much would you pay for these, knowing that this is just a couple of bites taken out and it's already halfway down?
I don't really buy candy that much, but if I did, I would not pay anything over 10. They're not that worth it, man.
$10?
I would not pay any. Well, probably less than 10.
$10 for this pack? How much for this pack?
If
This
it
one
were
Just this one pack.
$5.
$5. Okay.
Candy is not worth it, man.
What about you?
I wouldn't buy it.
No, but like, what's the most you'd
If
pay?
I had to, I wouldn't.
Had to buy it.
I wouldn't pay for it at all. But if someone like was peddling it to me and I wanted them to get out of my face, I would pay like $2.
$2?
But I'm sure it's like $8 or something like that.
I've gotten Twizzlers bigger than that, worth like $8. Yeah, so I mean, it's worth like $5 maybe.
It was
less.
25 for a pack of 4. A 4-pack of these, which works out to a little bit over $8.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
A little bit over $8 is how much those costed. Bro, I could get an entire 5-pound bag of Sour Patch Kids plus another 2.5-pound bag, bro. Like literally, I'm not kidding. You can get the big old fat bags from Five Below of Sour Patch Kids that are 15 times this. Dude,
But they're probably not as good for you.
they're not as good for you. I can tell you, they're blatantly not as good for
But
you.
also, like I've had candies that's like not as bad for you. That are better than that significantly.
Well,
I actually had
$8 feels that's my biggest issue is the $8.
I had one of these.
Because I'd eat these. I'd regularly eat these. If this pack was $3, I'd buy it, bro. I'd buy it when I'm like checking out or something like that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like, well, like not this one. I've had other things of this brand, Joyride, Ryan Trahan's brand. They're not like sweet tart ropes, but if you had the sweet tart ropes, they're like a lot like that. You know what I'm talking about? They're one of those newer ones.
What
that
are
he
these?
just dropped again.
These are other ones. Those are ones that Kayla has. Go ahead and grab those.
Rope bites.
No, you can grab those.
Give my sweet tart.
Yeah, I think this was it.
Yeah, go ahead and try
Yeah,
one again.
these
So these ones are strawberry rope bites. They're
These
filled
are
with like a little
amazing.
cream.
These I would pay a good amount of money for.
Really?
Yeah.
I think the watermelon ones are the best. Kayla loves these.
These taste just like the sweet
What do
tart
those
ropes.
taste
They
Good.
taste like sweet tart ropes a little bit.
Good?
Wait, no, that's not that good. I was thinking of something else. What? No, it's all right.
Is that bad?
It's way too sour, dude.
I don't think it's sour, honestly.
Maybe I'm just not used to it.
You're probably not used to it, yeah.
You know what? It's like not as good as I remembered it being.
It's still
But it's like a 7.
it's
I
still
would
not
say
as bad as the other ones, I will say.
It's way better than this.
Well, there's a reason why I have these two left, and one is because Kayla likes these, and I don't like those, and I ate the other ones first. There was also a watermelon ones, and they got your fingers sticky. You can ask Nutquit, bro. I had him try them before the podcast, before you were here, and dude, they were good. But they like you picked them up and they were drenched in like sugar coating or something, and they were like sticky and they made your fingers all sticky and gross.
What was it?
Other watermelon flavors. He's got a watermelon flavor.
Really?
Basically,
Oh,
watermelon.
Really?
Yeah.
That's disappointing. I like watermelon.
I will also say, bro, I said I was gonna update y'all on the freaking stomach. On my stomach hurting after these because the last time I got Joyride candies, they hurt. And for a long time today, I thought it was the beans. I think it might be the candy.
For real?
It's been about
Well,
6 hours since I ate them, so they should be going through my stomach right now.
That's true.
Realistically, it actually could be this candy that's hurting my stomach currently. Because I've been, y'all can tell me, dude, I've been super gassy. They've been smelling
He
it.
been gassy, bro.
They've been smelling it. It's the crazy thing. And I had to go as far as eating a freaking fiber brownie because, bro, I'm trying to poop so bad right now. And I think it might genuinely be that whatever like stevia they're using is just not
Is it
great.
stevia? I thought it might be monk fruit.
Some of it is stevia, some of it is not stevia. I believe the sour bite ropes are stevia, and
These are cane sugar.
cane sugar.
Mhm.
Either way, man, it could be a lot, like multiple things, bro.
It also has stevia.
It really?
Yeah.
Okay, so it could be the
A lot
stevia.
of
honestly.
the healthier ones use both, so they don't have to put as much sugar in them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, ultimately, it has 4 grams of sugar. So, like, I mean, it's not, like, going to kill you. But it also could be the high amount of fibers and that the net carbs are so low on it, too.
Yeah.
You know, it could just not be digesting correctly because of how much fiber there is in it. You got to... I didn't know if you were about to say something. I'm sorry, my fault,
No, I was just listening.
Oh, that's fair, bro. But, dude, for real, though, like, these are pretty mid. I won't say they're... I think that they are not worth the price. That's my current take.
I definitely can agree with that. What do you say?
What was the price?
Is it like about $8.25 per pack?
You think it's worth it?
I go a little less. I'm not paying that much. I again, they sell like those big Twizzler packs for like less than $10 too.
They sell the big Twizzler packs for like $3.
I know that's what I'm saying. Like depending on where you go, it's more or less expensive. I don't think those are worth like $8 or whatever.
I think I'd pay about $3 for that.
I think that since they're healthier, like in the market, what I think they could be priced as is about $5. I think they're upped because they're
Ryan Trahan.
yeah. But I think like if they sold these at the local supermarket and like it was just like a healthy candy alternative, I think like this pack would be like $5, $6.
Yeah.
Not $8, that's for sure.
Not 8. 8 is too much.
They
8 is
wouldn't
wrong.
actually. I'll tell you what, they probably wouldn't sell nearly as well as these have.
No, they probably
Either.
wouldn't. And I think that's why Joyride is doing this, bro. I don't know.
And that's a good point though. Is that like a negative thing then? Is that creators taking advantage of their audience by putting a product out like that? That's a good conversation actually.
I think it could actually stem from the price margins in making these is not high enough. So when the creator gets involved, it's a giant marketing cost, so they have to mark it up even more. I think it might just be like literally just how a company makes money. And there's no way to get around it.
Yeah, but
I think the creator economy is just currently broken.
it ends up not being the way they want it to be almost. I doubt a lot of these guys want to be charging $8 for their bags of candy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Well,
it's got to be something that's raising the price somehow.
And that's why Mr. Beast came in clutch and decided, oh, I'm rich enough to just do all this, and he did it because his new bars are cheaper
Than the old ones.
If you guys remember, like I used to get the old ones, like well I didn't used to get them, but I ordered them a couple times, like online. If you would order them online, they were kind of like that, like they were absurdly expensive.
Yeah.
But now that he has a lot more control over the market and stuff, he's grown even more, a lot more since the first round of Feastables released, and they were just online. You know, we're really seeing like you see him in Walmart, you see him everywhere. You can see him in Target, like that's what I'm saying. It's like now that he's so rich, I guess he's able to dominate the market and bring him cheaper, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
But that's why people like him can't do that.
I also think that a lot of creators need to realize that they're going to lose money before they make money on these endeavors.
Oh yeah.
When
but
you're
I think
starting a business, I think you just have to lose money for a little bit.
it's because it's a risk.
It's a risk. It
It's
is
exactly
absolutely a
a
risk,
risk.
and
That's what
you
all
have
businesses
to invest your own money before you make money. And that's what I feel. And you gotta. I get you gotta cover costs, but also like if your profit margin has to be a little bit lower for the first couple of months, then make it lower. You know, I hate to say it, but make it lower. These creators are making enough money as it is.
Oh yeah.
They don't need to be making even more when they start these businesses immediately.
But that's why I wanted to bring that up too, because you think it's a creative. Do you think it's a creative like endeavor, like something that they're actually like want to change and are interested in, or do you think it's becomes a business once they see themselves losing money out of like fear, or what do you think it is?
So I
Do you
think when it comes to Ryan Trahan specifically, I genuinely believe that he earnestly does not want to charge people this much.
He seems like a really
From everything I've watched, I'm a true fan of Ryan Trahan. I've been one since his old commentary days when he was not so wholesome. And he does seem like he's genuinely a better person than then. And I feel like by watching his stuff, I'm able to like really enjoy him and also understand him. And maybe not on like a parasocial level, but I don't think that he is trying to scam people.
I don't think so either.
I mean, I think that's why he's including things like stickers to make you feel special, you know? He is literally this is cool. This is genuinely cool.
They might be scratch and sniff.
They could be.
They might
I
be
mean,
scratch and sniff. We're gonna figure it out right here.
I mean, even if they aren't scratch and sniff, I still think they're cool. And I mean, the
I'm scratching and I'm
chapstick
sniffing.
is cool too, bro. He included a free chapstick. The only thing is that if I could have not had that and paid $10 less, I would have been more happy.
Yeah.
You know,
I have bad news.
it's not scratch and sniff.
It's not scratch.
It's just
they
scratch.
look scratch and sniff. Do you know what I mean?
They do look
Like-
scratch
like-
and sniff like a
Don't
mother.
they, don't they look
do.
like they're so vibrant and like they look
They look
yummy?
extremely vibrant
They
and
look
yummy.
yummy.
Specifically this dog. I want to scratch it and smell his dog.
That was actually okay. That should have been the first thought. Actually, is that there's a dog on there, so they're probably not scratching.
No, that probably could have been a good thought, but I don't know. It's okay. It's okay. I thought that they could have been too, though, honestly, because they look like they're literally like freaking shapes of fruits. You know, the only fruit we don't have on here is Nuckwit.
No, he got that dog in him. That's him right there.
He's the fruit. Sorry, Nuckwit. Why you can say something? I don't want to bully you. I'm not trying to bully you. I expect you to call me an asshole or something.
What? I'm not gonna call you an asshole. I think I already had. I think I already hit my insult quota before we went live. But
Who did you insult?
we were doing the mic test, and I was just throwing the most outrageous.
Dude,
Lots of
it could have
Yeah.
been worse, man. Ciro was talking about some crazy stuff on the mic test, bro.
you were
Y'all
ta-
have to see that on the Jerkmate.
We're not gonna talk about that one until the Jerkmate stream.
Dude, I need to
We
just
could-
keep crediting Sully Brett for that joke, bro. It's such a funny joke. He's the one that came up with that Jerkmate joke, bro.
Okay, I know like on the 100th stream, if we all blow up, we do a Jerkmate stream.
That'd be fire, bro.
Would you guys be down?
The Jerkmate stream
Well, 'cause
transcends
we
Brett's stream
lose.
and mine. Dang.
Like we're not actually doing any. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, we need to have a
need
Jerkmate
to-
collab with Sully Brett. That's what I'm thinking.
I agree.
We'll
Yeah,
do our
let's get
first
Sully on here
podcast
too.
with Sully Brett in real life, and
IRL
it's a
Sully.
Jerkmate stream.
I mean, well, I'm trying to think of what can you improve on. Is this peak, guys? Like, what do you think? Is this where we are right now in the podcast? All three of us live in a room, just yapping our mouths off. Do you think this is the peak, or do you think we can top this?
I
In
feel
chat,
like
I want to hear you
I-
chat's opinion too.
This is such like the traditional podcast. It's such a trad podcast vibes, and I kind of mess with it. You know, I feel like
Yeah,
we
I
stayed
love this.
way more on topic, man.
I like-
Yeah, we stayed a
infinitely
lot
I
better.
more.
actually like this way more than what we do because I'm able to pay attention now, but I don't know what to I don't know what to say for a lot of things. Still,
Well,
I don't know why.
I always
that's
feel
funny.
bad because I feel like Nuckwit, you don't talk that much, man.
It's not anything you guys
Dude,
are
he's
doing.
cooking
It's-
right now. Do you not
I'm just-
remember?
Well, you were talking
True.
about like I have like interesting points. I don't know like when to intervene or anything. Like you're talking about like how you watched him Ryan Trahan from like where he was and to where he is now. Like I completely agree with that. Like there's plenty of people out there. This is gonna sound like I'm very parasocial with people, but like I look up to a lot of creators and I like know their life story just because I'm so interested. So
I don't think that's weird. I don't think that's even parasocial.
No, dude.
I think parasocial is like an obsession. Like,
Yeah, I
from
think
what
it's
I've
more of an
from what I've
obsession.
understood,
It's like you
I don't know
believe you're
much about
best
it, but
friends
it's
with
like,
them
oh, yeah.
almost. Yeah.
I don't believe I'm best friends with them. I believe they're I'm not gonna make that joke actually.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I get you. I get what you're saying. But yeah, I think guys also be nice to Nuckwit in the comments. Everybody say good job Nuckwit in the chat. Bro is halfway across his state, bro. He's
Bro flew halfway across the state and fought in a boxing match.
and he's got to be nervous
And
at
he's
least
still-
a little bit,
you,
man.
You can't blame his ass.
No, you can't, bro.
You
If you're
can't.
live on the Twitch, let's get a W, Nuckwit. If you're
No.
watching after,
Listen,
make
man,
sure to follow the Twitch and
I didn't have
say
to do
good
much.
job, Nuck.
I just asked, can I tag along? And I sat in the back of a car. That's literally.
No, but
That's
bro,
all that happened.
you've got to be at least a little bit nervous. You've never met us, man. You're in my house right now.
I mean-
dude, I would be terrified. I would have literally. The first time I came to Brody's house, I was terrified, and I live here.
Yeah, bro.
I'm always terrified when I go to people's houses, dude. That's just how I am, man.
Nuckwit's not afraid, man.
Space.
We love Nuckwit, guys. We love Nuckwit. We're really proud of him. And dude, talk about some character growth, bro. In the last 6 months I've known Nuckwit, he has come out of his shell more than anyone else I've ever. Dude, you actually.
I come out a little bit too much though.
He came out.
No, but dude, you've been expressing yourself creatively so well though on your YouTube channel, bro. Like genuinely, I'm really proud of you, man.
The newer like new age Nuckwit streams within the last
Thank you.
couple months,
That's wholesome.
dude. Yeah, no, they're amazing. You guys, you don't know the feeling of like when you're going to bed and you just turn on a Nuckwit stream when you go to bed, and it is the most relaxing thing.
It really
I've
is,
ever
bro.
heard. Bro has like a quality to his voice, and he'll just talk about like some stuff like I don't even know what he's
Most
talking about. But
random
it doesn't
things,
matter.
dude.
It doesn't matter what he's talking about because it's just interesting or it's like calming. I don't know how else to put it.
No, I get what you're saying, dude. I think here's the thing about Carter. He's just super wholesome too. You know? Okay, maybe not wholesome.
I'm not that
but like,
wholesome, man.
But the thing is like you'll make offensive jokes, but like you never mean them in a mean way.
Yeah, no.
And you can sense that when you're making the joke, you know? I feel like at least.
I'm glad I come off that way. It doesn't always stick the landing, dude. There will be a time. I know it, man. I literally just called you a bitch earlier. I'm not joking, bro.
It was funny though. It was funny. It was funny. But yeah, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed this in real life podcast. Hopefully we're going to do some more. Hopefully the mic quality wasn't bad. I bought these microphones on Amazon recently as quick as I can. But yeah, hopefully you guys have an amazing day, and we will see you B-dubs and internet culture podcasters later.
I love you guys.
Bye.